Thanks, chaps. OK, coming up, back to basics for Johnny, rocking Rockingham in his old Formula Ford.
Oh, Johnny, why are you in the car?
Hey?
You're trying to get a head start already?
Yeah, I am, smart Alec. Get your backside in the car and let's get out there.
Welcome back to the F1 show. Now, take yourself back to 1985. Perms and mullets might have been your thing, but it was this man who was head and shoulders above the rest. Not literally, he's too small. Our very own Johnny was storming it in Formula Ford and making his mark in motorsport. He's been back to his roots to meet up with the next generation and have a go behind the wheel.
Formula One is the pinnacle of motor racing, and there are many ways that you can get to that promised land. There's karting, Formula Ford, GP3 and GP2. I'm here at Rockingham to meet a young whippersnapper called Harrison Scott.
Johnny,
who's been doing rather well in Formula Ford.
Are we going to do this interview or not?
I'm doing it. What do you mean do this interview? What is it interrupting me? You young kids are exactly the same. Come on, let's go and do this. I know, you're unbelievable, you are. It's been your debut season in Formula Ford. How's it been?
I'm currently second in the championship, and I didn't expect to be up as high up as we are now in the championship. It's my first year in car racing, and it's been fantastic.
How has that jump been from karting to Formula Ford?
It's been a lot difficult than what I thought, to be honest. It's completely different. You've got a lot bigger engine now, aerodynamics to think about. I think they've got just over 200 horsepower, and although they've got the new wings on them this year, they don't produce as much aerodynamics as what they look like. So you've still got the movement of the car around you, which you have to learn and adapt to. So it's a great class to jump up from karting and make that switch to.
Is there some driver that you look at and think, that's the type of image and that's what I want to follow in my career?
My fellow countryman Lewis Hamilton, I mean, he's a good lad, he's a really good driver. I see him as one of the best. You're obviously a Formula Ford champion back in the day. What was it like? What kind of thing did you take from that Formula Ford championship into your Formula One career? What
I did learn was basically learning about the setup of the car, because that doesn't change whatever you do the whole way up, even to Formula One.
Yeah.
There is still an element of where the engineers need to work with the driver. This was a very good base for me, and I think it's a good base for you to learn sort of the basics of proper racing cars.
And I think later on you'll be able to get to drive in the current Formula Ford car. So are you looking forward to it?
I'm looking forward to having a go, but this is my baby, so get off of my car, let's get out on the track, and let's see what these little babies are like.
Oh, Johnny, why are you in the car?
Hey?
You're trying to get a head start already?
Oh, yeah, I am, smart Alec. Get your backside in the car and let's get out there. There we go. Over the curb, I'm fighting and driving the wheels off of this thing. Still drifting. Got you there, buddy boy. Just getting over. Harrison at the inside. Full throttle. Still pulling away from me. I think the only thing to do now is have a swap. It's a bit tight. Very, very different animal. What do you think of my baby?
Completely different experience to what I've been used to driving over the year.
Good experience?
Yeah, definitely. Any car's a good experience.
Yes.
It's a lot different to drive.
I wish you the very, very best in the coming years.
Definitely.
I'll be watching you.
Thank you.
All right.
Cheers,
Cheers, Harrison.
Thank you. Bye.
That looked like a bit of fun. I saw fear in his eyes.
Fear in his eyes.
You dominated.
It was the fear that I gave him, I tell you.
So, trip down memory lane, you enjoy that?
Brilliant. Again, going back to 1985 when I won the Formula Ford Festival with Anthony. He won the Formula Ford Festival as well. Damon Hill, he didn't win a Formula Ford Festival.
So you beat Damon?
Yeah, but he won a Formula One World Championship.
And it's the Formula Ford Festival at Brands Hatch at the end of next month?
Yep. And it was a big thing. There used to be sort of 3 heats, quarter-final, semi-final, final. A little bit smaller nowadays.
So how has the car changed? How's it evolved since your day?
These little things on the back are probably the biggest thing as well. The actual car dimensions are quite a lot bigger as well. Slick tyres, bit
bit bigger than what I had. We used to have sort of the older sort of road tyres, effectively, but it's more inside the car. Still got that sort of steel sort of chassis that we've got there, but it's actually this little bit here. I'll show you with the light.
Oh, thanks for the
It's
torch.
got these carbon fibre panels, which is there really for protection. We just have a little bit of fiberglass on the bodywork, which was a little bit different. But they've really changed. Horsepower about 200. I think I had about 120 horsepower in my day as well. So really has moved on, but great to drive.
In terms of moving on, it does seem that Formula Ford's kind of been leapfrogged by other formulas in terms of at least being a feeder series for Formula One. It's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Why do you think that is?
I don't know why. I think there was an element maybe that it didn't really get sort of a big push from promotion. And then that's why other formulas, I don't know, Vauxhall, for example, sort of came on top. BMW Junior, I remember when that came in quite early on. But it's a shame because this was so important for myself, for Damon, for Anthony, of going from karting into the Formula Fords. And that was really where you've got to understand exactly how to set up a racing car, which you still used, actually, when you got to Formula One.
So that's what you learnt? That's why it was so important for you, was it, going into Formula One? Especially
without the wings, because then it was all about the suspension, the springs and the dampers, and that's what you had to learn and understand, because that was still massively important, even, as I said, even in Formula One.
Great part of your education.
Yeah.
And what about the guy who's dominating at the moment? He's won all the races.
Dan Camish. He's won absolutely everything. Lovely, lovely guy as well. And hopefully we're going to see a little bit more of him down the line. Not quite sure where he's going to be going next year. But, of course, we got Harrison Scott, who was actually there with me. And he's looking quite good for the future as well.
So is he your tip to someone who will make it?
I think he's got a good character about him as well. He's in his first year of Formula Ford, and hopefully he can move on. So, yeah, I think he's another Brit, hopefully, on the rise.
OK, so Vettel-style dominance there, Crofty.
Yes. All those people who think Sebastian Vettel is dominating Formula One, well, yep, spare a thought for those who have been watching Formula Ford in Britain this year. But well done to Dan Camish, nonetheless. Great season that he's had. Back to the Formula One then.